All right, guys, two new things today. If you've been following along, great. Appreciate you. Keep sharing the videos. Let's blast this out so we never have to deal with this again. So, Mike came out with a post on XWA fan base last night, and he basically took no accountability and called all the victims liars. So that was fun. That was really disappointing and disgusting, quite frankly. But also last night, we got this. We had audit them. Please go to my old videos. Mike Antonucci, wrestling's Jeffrey Epstein ? Please share that video. Please share that video. If you guys haven't seen the beginning, go find me on YouTube. Fake Mike Real News. Go back to the first video. It's Mike Antonucci : wrestling's Jeffrey Epstein ? And because if you're just tuning into this video, you're not going to know what's going on. This has been a full investigation. It's been going on for a very long time. And a lot of people have come out speaking out this week, which is awesome. I got two of the same ones here. Okay, so let's try this. All right, first, we're going to go with this post here, which was a post that was made yesterday by Rich Bastarche, or Rich Bass, who is a former ref for XWA. And then we're going to play the beginning of my conversation with Mike Antonucci. About 6 years ago, when I first found out about this, I said, hey, Mike, some of my subscribers, they watch wrestling, and they're telling me you're being accused of some weird stuff. What's going on? Let's talk about it. And so we're going to play that, and we're going to break it down. But first, I want to get into this. This is a post from Rick. Well, I really didn't want to post anything about this topic, but I also cannot allow myself to be a hypocrite. I've received literally almost 20 messages or texts since Tuesday. Imagine how many I've gotten. Or since I posted my stuff about Chris Cruz. Again, this is my experiences. I don't take away or discredit anyone else. I just go off what I saw and can speak on. It's not a secret I was with XWA practically since they started doing legit shows after they were a WWF pay-per-view group at the Boys and Girls Club. I started refereeing for Mike in XWA when I was 17 or 18 years old, and eventually became a manager for a few top heels. I can only speak personally and on my experiences. I was never put into any position like what's coming out. I don't exactly fit the type. So any experience I had with Mike in XWA was nothing but professional. Even on a personal level, like a lot of people, I considered Mike to be a friend of mine. Had partied at his house, no funny business, that I was there for. I know and adore his mother, who I had to block from seeing this because I can't imagine being a parent and see the things your child has done come out the way that it has. I feel like I'm here more so to defend XWA itself as a company than I am to do anything else. That's what I know, and that's what I can speak on. Many opportunities were afforded to me in XWA to work with high-end talent and shows that at the time rivaled any promotion in the area, including my own, PWF. We had an excellent working relationship, and I know many others can say the same. It was a legit place for us to work, and that was it. No funny business. So it sucks so bad that it's being tarnished. So if anything, I'm saying this because people like myself, Trips, Kellen, and a ton of others were getting the chance to be at the top of the card. I'll always be grateful for that. Also, Mike wasn't training these guys. The trainers were legit world-renowned pros. However, now for the not-so-fun part. Guys, share this video. This is incredible. This is insane. Share this video. However, now for the not-so-fun part. XWA for quite a while, Mike had zero to do with it. Thursdays were legit being run by Jose Perez and/or Blade and sometimes JT. Or loyalty was with him, Jose, because we heard so many rumors with Mike that he was out of the picture, not even in the building, for quite a bit before COVID. It's really tough to put in words. It really is. I just thought he was a closeted gay guy that liked younger legal dudes. I stayed far away from any of that. The people that had stuff happen to them, I wish they had come out to one of the vets in the locker room so this could have been addressed then instead of now. An odd thing was he had all the trainees change upstairs in the production area with him instead of in the back. Let me run that back for you. The trainees, who one was underage and confirmed he was SA'd, these trainees, many of which were underage, they're not going to train in the locker room. They're going to train in the production area with him. I'm going to go back to the beginning of this paragraph and then continue. An odd thing was he had all the trainees change upstairs in the production area with him instead of with us in the back. If we were working with the student and would say, come change downstairs so we could talk, they'd say they had, capital H-A-D, to change upstairs. Interesting, because that's where the alleged fellatio story happened. So Mike in the story says, "Oh, we couldn't do anything because in the area that I'm in, there's no privacy whatsoever." You hear him say that, but apparently there's enough privacy for underage kids to change there. So make of that information what you will. There were always rumors of things, but again, just thought he was a shy gay dude keeping on the DL. I didn't think any more about it. That's what I thought at first too. Anytime a rumor came out, it was all speculation with no proof. It just became a lot. Like, how can one guy have so many rumors and none of it be true? The Disney trip. I remember it being talked about. Again, I know nothing after that. But now it's just to the point where there's way too many people with the same story. Brett and Jay especially. I've been out of the business since COVID to deal with my own life and getting sober, and so if anything is not fuzzy, feel free to chime in, LOL. I almost feel used. I almost as a way to legitimize situation. And if guys like me and Trips and Dunn, all those guys work there, how bad could it be? Unfortunately, pretty bad apparently. I know Brett. I was there when him and his mom walked into Showcase start training before he even went to XWA. Was always a good kid and doesn't deserve to have experienced this. Jay, I don't really know, but he obviously didn't deserve to have to live with this and keep it locked up to himself for fear of being blackballed. I hate that I haven't had to write this. It's way too long. Surprised that you made it this far. But at the end he says, I'm out of wrestling anyways, but in case it wasn't clear, I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with XWA and any of its ownership. Having kids change in front of him, not the locker room. What's the locker room for? It's for changing up. Oh, I get it. Let's have them change with me instead. All right, now let's get right into this. I'm going to start playing this. I want to know if you can hear me. Now, this is the beginning of this recording here. And Mike's talking about, hey, I'm asking the question, just to give you the context of this beginning of this conversation. I'm saying, hey, Mike, I got my subscribers calling me saying you're accused of all sorts of wild stuff. So what's going on here? And Mike basically starts off like, oh, you wouldn't believe everyone trying to get at me. So we'll start here. I'm gonna let the audio play. If you guys can hear the audio, put a big 1 in the chat. If you cannot, put a 2. I'm gonna start playing the audio. So let's see if we can hear it. Well, like I said, man, I've been detained by some of the highest people in this country, and look, I have people every day that I guess you don't see it because you're not there, but trust me, I have every day people doxing me, doxing my mom's address, putting it on YouTube. There's people that do videos about me every day. I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to walk in your shoes, but wait till you find out what it's like to walk in mine the past couple of years. So, yeah, what? Okay, so just to give you some context here, I'm going on and I'm going on and telling him, hey, look, I kind of understand probably what you're going through because I have people that do make videos about. At that time, people were making videos about me every single day. I had haters. I mean, if anybody that's new right here doesn't know, I have exposed a whole bunch of schmedophiles. I've confronted the Clintons, Donald Trump. I was the first person to confront the Clintons, Bloomberg, all these other people about Jeffrey Epstein a decade before the news even knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. I, I've had the FBI show up to my house. The FBI call me. I've had DCYF, which is Rhode Island's version of Child Protective Services, show up to my house twice, and I don't have kids. So Mike is like, whoa, I don't know what it's like to walk in your shoes, but wait till you hear what's like to walk in mine. I mean, I heard Hillary Clinton's bad, but wait till you hear about these local wrestling promoters. Are you an idiot? And then right there, you get the first of his nervous laughs. He's like, you think it's crazy to be you exposing elite Schmedophiles and the Bilderberg Group? Can you imagine what it's like to run a failing local wrestling promotion? And this is when he does his first nervous laugh. So we're going to be doing a drinking game. Every time Mike has a nervous laugh, we're going to drink. Just kidding. We cannot do that because he nervous laughed so many times throughout this transcript here that you guys would be unalive due to alcohol poisoning. So I could not do that to you guys. Just tell me if you think. Let's see. Let's just listen. Let's keep going. Going on because I got all these people coming at me saying stuff because some of my subscribers watch wrestling and shit.
Yeah. Oh, is that how it started? I think Martor hit you up.
No, Martor. I don't know that Martor knows anything about this.
Oh, no, because I think he's the only one in wrestling. So I'm like, oh, it's got to fucking Martor hit him up. So, all right, I don't even know where to begin. Like, if you remember the random unfriending last year? I was like, what's going on? And I was like, and then we talked about, I'm like, yo, I really need to talk to you about something. Yeah, it was this. It's been going on for that long. So I wanted to talk
Too nervous left.
I wanted to like input and shit. But, alright. So a couple weeks ago, this whole Me Too thing started in wrestling. I don't know if you follow Twitter at all.
Somewhat.
It was really just a Twitter thing. And, okay, perfect opportunity for some people to jump on a bandwagon that had heat. And I have heat with some people. Some people, heat enough that they want to see me out of wrestling because they want their fucking promotion or one, I didn't book them properly, or we kicked them off for whatever reason. There's a lot of people that want to see me go away for different reasons. So it started with this chick, Brooke.
So there's a lot of people that still want to see you go away. Like I said, there are a lot of reasons why people would want to unalive me. But there's a lot of people. It's one thing to say, you're a wrestler and I didn't book you well. And it's one thing for most normal wrestlers would be like, all right, I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna train harder, or I'm gonna go to another wrestling school. No normal person would be like, oh, I'm not getting what I want. I'm gonna call you a Schmetta smile. No, that's not how this works.
And she fucking tweeted out, and first of all, let's get this right off the bat, because I'm gonna say a sentence that she had in her tweet that she has since taken down, by the way. But I'm gonna say a sentence in her tweet, and I don't want you to be like, what the fuck? I'm gonna say it right now. She called me a fucking pedophile, and no, I'm not a fucking pedophile, and I hope you don't think that, Will. That's craziness. So nothing, huh?
No, I don't think anything. I just know that a bunch of people saying this to me, and then so I'm just like, I wanted to talk to you about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell's going on?
No, that's fine. So it started with her saying that tweet, and her somewhat exact words were, she says, "Extensively, it's disgusting. They don't believe in women's wrestling. Me and other women were kicked out of the locker room, and this all by an active pedophile." So that's how this whole thing started. So easily disproven because I know the date she's talking about. And first of all, and I posted it in our locker room thing and whatnot because I don't want the workers thinking stuff that weren't there that night. Everybody that was there, all 30 of them, know the truth, and and said that's fucking bullshit. I was there. So I'm happy about that. It got quickly disbanded. But what I don't like is, okay, what if some fans see that don't know the truth? Like, what the fuck? You know?
This is the first time easily disproven, disbanded. So the claims that were made were there's cameras in the locker room, Mike dislikes women, and he's an active smedophile. That's easily disproven. He claims it's easily disproven, but he offers no proof. He doesn't even mention the fact that there's cameras in the locker room. He doesn't give any evidence how he's not a smedophile. He doesn't give any evidence how he doesn't hate women. He just goes on to attack this woman's character. And I was going to kind of save this for earlier, but why don't we get into this right now? Why didn't Mike just say, Will, you're my best character witness? Me, Will. You're my best character witness. Let's go down to the XWA Event Center. We got all the technology, audio, visual, cool lighting, anything you want. And we'll talk. And we'll talk about this. We're going to sit down, record a video. We could even go live. We'll address these allegations. Will, when I met you, I was 20, 21. You were 13. And we're going to tell our story. But Mike could not do that. Because Mike could sit and say, hey, Will, come on, you're my best character witness. You were best friends for 8 years. I knew you since you were 13 years old. Did I ever try anything weird with you? Did you ever notice anything weird? Did you ever see anything weird? And then he couldn't do that. Because then I would go back in my head and I'd be like, oh yeah, remember when he was the president of the Little League and he wore the big cock hat? And remember when he used to leave porn on? And remember with all the sexual innuendos and grabbing kids at the Boys and Girls Club? And then even after hanging out with me, I would see him at the grocery store with kids that were underage. And be like, what's going on here? I'm babysitting. Instead of getting me to stand up and ask for him, to stand up and be a character witness for him. I mean, it's like, Will, you know I'm not a smedophile. I met you when I was 13 years old. Like, if anybody would be able to be a character witness for him, it would be me. But he couldn't do that because I could think of weird and strange things that he would do when I was a kid. So he could have ended this phone call in a minute. First of all, if anybody called me, I'd be like, and they were my friend, I'd be like, bro, you know damn well I ain't no smedophile, this and that, right? I'd be like, it wouldn't be an hour-long conversation. All right? If any of this wasn't true, why did Mike just say, hey, I met you when I was 20, 21, you were 13. We were almost inseparable for 8 years. If I was a Smedo, wouldn't you have some crazy wild stories? Wouldn't you now? Like maybe trying to get me to moon people or walk downstairs with my pants off or kids mooning you in the bathroom at the Boys and Girls Club with the camera there or leaving porn on or innuendos or asking me to go on cam or grabbing my ass or grabbing my nipples. Or, hey, why don't you come downstairs with your pants on? That'd be so funny. And then all your other friends are 13 or 18 years old? If someone calls me up and says, hey, Will, I heard some crazy stuff about you online. I'd be like, bro, you know this isn't... Any human interaction would be like this, right? Especially if you know the person for a long time. For someone that did not do something like this, the natural emotional reaction would be first sadness. It would be like, damn, bro, I've known you 20 years and you're going to think this of me, that makes me sad, that hurts me. Then the sadness would go to hurt that, wow, this person actually thinks this may even perhaps be credible. And the next thing would be anger. So I'd be sad, and then I'd be hurt, and then I'd be like, all right, you know me for 20 years, you know me what type of person I'm, you know damn well I'm never hard no kids. Go F yourself. Bang. Oh, are you one? Boom, 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 boom. But Mike doesn't act like that. Mike doesn't act like that, no. Wonder why. I wonder why. Because he could just call the best character witness right to the stand, but he cannot do that. Let's continue. Listen to this disgusting audio. And
right? You can't just say shit like that. So, are you still there?
Yep.
So, So, and I told the story. So this chick
keeps checking if I'm still there. He keeps checking. You keep hearing through this. Are you still there? You still there? Or else, if I'm listening, he's trying to control the conversation, make sure I'm engaged, because he believes if I'm engaged, I'm buying the story. But I'm not.
And I'll tell you, I know you don't know it from home world, but I'll tell you the fucking story. On Thursday nights, we do like very small shows, like 60, 80 people sometimes, you know what I mean? For small kind of thing. It's enhancement shows, it's for like people that need a shot, or students, or people from other areas that just want to get some ring time in, things like that. They're not like normal XWA shows. And that kind of helps pay the rent. So I'll just give you a backstory on that for Thursdays. So this dude hits me up from New York and says, hey, I'm going to come down Thursday. I'm like, okay, cool. And he shows up with this chick. Now, I just assume it's his girlfriend. You know, people bring their plus ones all the time. And he says, oh, she's going to manage me. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So they have their match. Match sucked. That timing, that spot, she missed all her spots that she was supposed to be up on the apron when the good guy, I mean, you understand wrestling terms. The good guy turned around, the baby turned around, she was supposed to distract him, and then, you know, but, so the baby turned around to the apron, she's not there, the whole match looked terrible. And this happened 3 weeks in a row. So I pulled him aside, and I'm like, dude, you gotta talk to your girl. She's missing spots, she's making the match look bad. And he turned around and said that, oh, I really don't even know her that well. I'm like, what? I thought it was your girlfriend. He's like, no, she just hit me up randomly. She just wants to get us. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell me that? Yeah. I would have never said yes to her going out there. She's got to go train somebody else. So anyway, I need to give you this backstory to know why she said what she said. So, you still following?
Yes, sir.
So, blah, blah, blah. So, he agreed with me. I'm like, dude, you might need to go solo because she's not adding anything. And like I said, she wants to get involved in wrestling. There's 4 different wrestling schools that she can go to. And he agreed. So he had that talk with her.
Pause. Mike runs a training school. You want to make money. This girl's coming up. She keeps showing up at the shows, and that's and she's not doing good according to Mike. But Mike says, hey, there's 4 other places she can go learn. Why wouldn't you want to train her? That's easy money right there. Girl needs work. You got a training thing. That's how you get your money. Is it? Is that how you get your money? I don't know. But you got somebody, they need to be trained. You have a training facility, and you can make money. And then you could use her in your show, and she would be good. Or is it only that you train underage boys? You know what's really funny, too? Let me stop there.
So, well, she was fucking pissed. So, anyway, they part ways. 2 weeks later, there's a show at the school, and she shows up with this other kid, AJ. So I'm like, oh, I was rid of this. So I really have no say of who goes out there. It's just a rental, so it's not my thing. So I've got no say. So I pretty much shut up. But I did mention to AJ. I was like, dude, you sure about this? And he's like, yeah, don't worry, I got it. I'm like, okay. Well, his match stuck too. 2 weeks later, they broke up. She shows up at my Thursday show with a third fucking dude. And this is the night in question. So I'm upstairs doing the card because we opened the door and people are coming in and I'm doing the card and trying to get the lineup printed up. And AJ and one other kid came upstairs and like, hey, is this chick booked? I'm like, no, why? He's like, well, she's hanging out in the locker room. She's kind of like staring at us. It's real awkward. I'm trying to exchange. And AJ turned around and said, I even went to him.
Yeah, she's the awkward one. Like, because girls always do that. Girls always sit there and stare like, don't get me wrong, some girls do that. But that's more of a Mike thing. That's more of a projection thing than anything. And you know what's really weird? Shout out to Brett. He had a great post yesterday. And he was talking about how Mike had threatened some legal stuff against certain people that were speaking out at the time, saying defamation, libel, and slander. I addressed that here. As I say here, it's very difficult to prove that. You have to prove damage. And on top of that, Mike, you're a public figure. But it's funny how he was telling, hey, you know, I might sue you guys. I might get you guys for libel for saying things where Brett doesn't even name him by name. Meanwhile, Grogan calls him a smedophile and says he's the XWA owner. How come you're not threatening any litigation on her? Mike, why don't you... Somebody called you a pedo and you didn't sue him. Somebody called you a pedo and you didn't sue him. Why is that? Because if someone calls me a pedo, I don't got a lawyer. I'll lawyer up I'll be the lawyer. Nobody's gonna do that. And you know what's so funny is during all these opportunities, during speaking out, not one person said anything about me. Not one person said anything about this. But Mike's got 3 different. Like even if you go looking up speaking out, Julian or David Starr, whatever that guy. Sorry, David Starr. He's got 1 accusation. Mike's got 3. Someone called you a smedophile and you did nothing. Meanwhile, you're trying to bully people into not coming forward with threats of litigation. You are disgusting.
Other side of the wall, she's behind this is not cool. So the kid, there was a guy next to me, his name is King Leon. He was sitting next to me. And Jose Perez, you remember Jose, right?
Yeah, and that's the awkward part about all this, right? Is some girl staring at guys in the locker room. Most guys would like attention from females, right? That's the awkward thing. Some girl looking at you like, wow, you're so handsome. That's really, really awkward. Not young kids. Oh, hey kids, what are you doing down there in the locker room? You're not getting changed up here. Come up here. Change in the production room where it's so private.
Yes, Jose Perez. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you remember him. You were there when he was there. So I mean, he was there when you were wrestling. So they were both sitting right next to me. To see if he was King, I was like, well, please go downstairs. Ask her to go to the ring area. She should not hang out in the locker room. She's not booked. I can't have her hanging out. Yeah, no problem. I got it. So he goes down. He's very non-confrontational. I can actually hear how he said it. He probably was like, hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you a message. He probably said something like that. But he did give her the message. And next thing I know, her and the dude that she was with that night, get all pissed off, swinging things, and end up leaving. And the dude that she was with was booked that night. So I had her, I changed the card, whatever. He left with her. Not very, are you typing this?
No, I'm opening a game so I can smoke a blunt.
Notice this part right here. Because this guy's boring me with, I'm like, oh my God, I'm hoping in this call, where all this is getting brought to my attention, I'm hoping he can just allay my fears and say, hey, look, there's all some big misunderstanding, Will, you know me, and none of this. And then I asked him, hey, did you do something, did you harm kids? He's telling me, oh, well, you know how the booking is, and then King Leon, and the Euro Intercontinental double tag. I don't care, bro. So he's like, oh my God, he gets all nervous. Listen to how nervous he gets. He's like, are you typing this? I'm like, no, I'm not typing this. I'm recording this idiot in my head. But I said, no, I'm opening up a game because you're taking so long, and now you're actually starting to hurt my head and my heart, because now I actually am starting to believe these people, because you're not doing a very good job of telling me and proving to me that you did not, in fact, do any of this. So he's getting nervous like I'm typing. I'm rolling a blunt, homie.
I mean, it's fine. But, so they got all fucking pissed off and left. So, and that was like a year ago. I didn't hear shit from her until that tweet. So when she fucking tweeted that, everybody that was alive, and when Steve went down to ask her, and it was just her, by the way, not all women. I didn't kick women out a lot. You might have plenty of other women matches and stuff like that. So it was her, and that's the reason. There's a term. It's called ring rat. She's with 3 dudes in a month. I mean, come on, that's a huge red flag. I don't need that in the locker room. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
3 dudes in a month. That's a huge red flag, mathematically speaking. Which would also, mathematically speaking, meaning 3 accusations in a month. That's a huge red flag. By your logic, Mike, not mine, by your math.
Oh, and if you're not booked on the card,
share this video. This guy right here thinks it's okay to do what he's been doing to people for a very long time. Tag him in this video, share this video right now, so that this never happens again. He can never work at a Little League again. He can never work in wrestling again. He can never work at the Boys and Girls Club again. And if you have information, thank you to the people that have continually sent me information. FakeMikeRealNews@gmail.com, FakeMikeRealNews on Instagram. I have honored my word as I have done my entire career. If you want to stay anonymous, I'll keep you that way. If you want to come forward, now is the time to come forward. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe.
Don't belong in law. So that was that, and a bunch of people came out, thankfully, and said, no, I was there, I was the one that gave it best. And then when everybody came out against her, she fucking took her feet down because, yeah, hello, if you're gonna lie about something, make sure there wasn't 30 fucking witnesses standing right there. So
another nervous laugh. Let's take a third shot today, guys. And shout outs. Who do we got in the comments? Shout outs to Frank. Shout outs to Denise, my boy. Tommy, Bam, Crazy, NH guy, Wu-Tang guy. Good to see you guys.
that was that. And then right after she got called out and disproven, the kid AJ, who didn't want to come out and say anything, he comes out and says, well, the reason why I felt it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, next time you say something, make sure there aren't like 30 something witnesses. Isn't that like 30 something witnesses? Are you talking about the number of people accusing you right now? I don't know. Oh, I just accidentally hit rewind, but good thing I have the timestamp. 8:30. We'll go back to 8:36.
Who didn't want to come out and say anything, he comes out and says, well, the reason why I felt uncomfortable, Mike, is because a week before, she kind of like assaulted me. I'm like, what? And he tells me this, and then he posts it. He posts his story. He's like, I really didn't want to say this, blah, blah, blah. And now she like disappeared off of fucking Facebook, I guess. But yeah, so she like assaulted him, and that's why he came upstairs to say like, hey, look, she probably doesn't belong in the locker room because he felt super weird. He made her do like fucking domination stuff. I won't get into details, but anyway. And she was 20 and he was 17, by the way, so that's a notable fact. So that was that part. And so she was all pissed off. And
you know what's a notable fact? Mike went online and said everything that I was saying and all the victims are liars and that I'm basically crazy, that everything was false. And he says a notable fact is this one person was 20, the other was 17. Notable fact is, if you think I'm so crazy, why did you want to be my friend when I was 13 years old?
He holding that fucking grudge for a fucking year and decided to use.
You know what's another notable fact? You were like 40 or 50 years old when you allegedly essayed one of your minor trainees. I wonder if he was asked to get trained in front of you in the back. You disgusting pervert. I gotta calm down, bro. I gotta smoke another blunt, bro. This is crazy.
Little movement that girls were coming out against, like Joey Ryan. I don't know if you know any of these names.
No.
David Starr, Joey Ryan.
Are these people like
guys that
WWE people, or are they like indie people, XWA people? I don't know those guys.
No, they were literally like everywhere. Like David Starr wasn't gonna get booked everywhere, but he's a well-known independent guy. Joey Ryan's out of California, but I mean he's been on pay-per-views with multiple companies. People know him. So these are like notable names. And David Starr started off the whole thing. His girlfriend came out. He was like, oh, he physically and mentally abused me for years, and he's a horrible partner. He had to come out and apologize. And that's where it started. And then the next chick came out, well, this is what happened to me. And this wrestler, I went out with him. And before you know it, there's like 1,000 of them. Exaggerating that number. But then, the first few days, I have no grudge whatsoever that they were probably all legit. But then what happened is people started coming out with their own little stupid stories to try to get their little 2 minutes of fame. And then people coming out and disproving it. So now people don't know what the fuck to believe anymore after the legit ones came,
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't prone to that because I had my share. I had 3 of them.
You had 3 of them. Nobody else in wrestling had more than 1. You had 3. This girl she got 3 different guys in 1 month. That's a red flag. You have 3 different accusations in 1 month? Mathematically, logically, that's a red flag, according to your logic.
Once again, trying to fucking attack me.
And to the commenter who says, Jesus Christ, man, there's still more? Yeah, a lot more. And I haven't, Bro, there'll be people messaging me every single day. I still haven't caught up. Keep sending this stuff too. FakeMikeRealNews at Gmail, FakeMikeRealNews on Instagram. I got new stuff for you tomorrow too. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll be live again.
Years 0 to 16 in XWA, zero drama, zero anything. Why? Because they just train every month or every 6 weeks or something like that. Just booked the talent, everybody came, wrestled, went home, done. See you in 6 weeks.
Yeah, from the from years 0 to 16, no drama. But once they hit adulthood, Mike, that's when the problems come. I mean, oh my God, this gallows humor, guys. I'm sorry, because if I don't joke about this right now, I'm going to do something mean, and I don't want to do that.
Since I opened up that school, nothing but fucking drama. Worst mistake I ever made. Holy shit. I can't wait to get out of wrestling. I can't wait.
Me too. Can't wait till you leave.
I told everybody, I just want to get to 20 years. I want to do my 20th Rumble, and I'm done. And it was supposed to happen in March, but the fucking virus shit got postponed. So now I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do Rumble, but I just wanted to do the Rumble 20, and I'm out. I don't want nothing.
Guess what, Mike? Spoiler alert. You will never do the Royal Rumble. You're not doing it. You're not doing the Rumble 20. You're not doing the Rumble 26. I will not allow you to do it. Sorry, not happening.
The fucking do wrestling. Oh, the people in it. But anyway, I'm babbling about that. So that was Rogan's thing. Then, so I addressed it. I put this post and I addressed the Rogan thing. And that's when people started coming out. I was like, I was right there, yada, yada, yada. So I did not address this other post that was going around by this kid, Cam. I try to keep up with that. I'm going to throw some names out that you don't know. So,
yeah.
So this kid, Cam, had posted something. I read it because I knew who he was. I don't know him that well. I've only known him for 3 weeks, maybe 4. But I didn't even think anything of his, so I never addressed this because after reading his, I would have at the house, the wife, the farm, the kids, I would have had everything that he was talking about this guy, DJ Hyde, who runs CCW in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So
this is, I'm over here with one of my boys, bro, and we're listening to this, bro, and we both looked at each other at the same time. He said, I bet the house, the wife, the kids, the farm, you don't have a house. This is a foreclosure. You don't have, we're laughing, bro. You don't own a house. You don't have a wife. You don't have a kid. You can't bet things that you don't have. Maybe if you said, I would bet some CP, then maybe someone would see that. But you can't bet things that you don't have. You don't have a house. Your house was foreclosed. You don't have a wife. You don't have a kid. You don't have nothing.
Because that's totally what he said in his post. It was totally something DJ would do. And I don't like DJ. I think he's pompous. He's arrogant. Nobody likes him. But in the wrestling world, like literally, nobody likes him. So even not liking him, I went to bat for him because, all right, here's what the post said. You need to know what the post said before I say not going further. So this guy can't post. He's like, well, I wasn't gonna say anything, but it's been eating at me for a year, so I'm gonna speak my mind now. Blah blah blah. He said, I've been trying to get on a weekly show, and I worked super hard to get there, and I finally got on, and everybody was congratulating me. And before my match, I went to talk to the promoter/owner, and I walked upstairs. They didn't see me, but the guy that I was supposed to be working was sucking his dick. That's what he says in the fucking post. So, and he said, then they come and they book the match, and I get no offense. It's like I couldn't get any offense whatsoever, and I don't understand why I couldn't get offense. And it was probably because I wasn't the one. Okay, there, I just heard a beep.
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't hear a beep.
Hello?
Yeah,
You get super nervous. Hey, you still there? You hear the beep? Oh, you hear the beep? Gets really nervous.
I didn't hear a beep.
Yeah, somebody's calling me, that's why.
Okay.
I won't answer.
Now we're 13 minutes in. Does this sound like somebody that's innocent? If you did nothing wrong, who gives a shit about the false stories? Why are you telling me about all the outer workings of wrestling? It would have been like, dude, you know who I am. You know this is bullshit. Come on over. We'll have a conversation. You don't need to know all the ins and outs. You know that this is bullshit. He's 13 minutes in. He's telling me about God knows what.
He said, so I can get any offense in, and I don't think that's right. Hold on, let me end this. I'm not going to accept the call.
I would be like, damn, it hurts that you even thinking this is true, man. Come on over, man. Come visit me, visit my mom. We'll talk all this through. You know this is bullshit. And then if I would have not believed him, he would be like, what? But no, we're 13 minutes in, homie. Someone says, hey, Will, do you harm kids? 0.2 seconds. F no, I don't harm kids. Get the hell out of here with that. Look at my track record. Mike, oh, well, then Grogan and then Mysterio hit him with the 619.
Okay, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. None of his, like I said, because that sounded exactly like DJ. And not for nothing, as much as I don't like DJ, the worst part of his art, let's say for a fact that it was true, he walked upstairs and some dude blowing fucking DJ. What two adults do on their own time is their fucking business. That's what I said. Because I was sticking up for DJ. I'm like, what's the worst thing in his post? He didn't get any offense in? Oh, poor baby, let me speak out. So that was my
Jesus Christ.
Until I found out he was fucking talking about me. So I'm on the phone with this guy who does my sound and audio and whatnot. And there he is. He's literally at the school more than I am. And he was telling me that he's like, no, Mike, he said he's talking about you. I'm like, no, he's talking. I said, I know he's not talking about me because it never fucking happened. Never got a fucking bulge out of my school. And I barely get him in my house, but all at the school. So, and he's like, no, I know he's talking about you.
Just look at that. Like, you're supposed to be telling me I didn't do anything weird. He's making jokes. I barely get BJs in my house. And this guy who's his audio guy for a long time is like, oh yeah, he's just like, I never bothered telling you because I figured, it wasn't true, so I wouldn't bother telling you. Just imagine if I was running a vegan taco shop and I had an employee for a year and my assistant manager knew for a year that one of the employees thought I did something really horrific. That's not logical at all. This doesn't make any sense. It's a lie.
Because he told me that story a year ago. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're just telling me this now? So I'm like, okay.
No, because if that guy was, if the real story here, I would be willing to bet was, if this guy did tell him a year ago, he would have been like, yo, Mike, this guy's saying something. We got trouble. This is a family-oriented business here. This guy's saying you're getting BJs up in the crow's nest. We gotta handle this. First of all, Mike, did you do it? No? Okay, good. Let's go confront him right now. Mike didn't do that. This story is a lie.
So as I'm talking to him, this guy Trish calls me, who's the current champ right now. He's all like, dude, is that true? He's like, is Cam talking about you? I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Like, dude, calm down. I was like, first of all, I literally on the phone, so I merged the two calls. I'm like, John, Trips is on the line, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he thinks it's me. So I'm like, well, who wants to tell the story to? He's like, this other guy, his name is Ragu. So, big Italian guy. So I said, well, fucking merge him, let's get him on the phone. So we got this big we got a 4-way iPhone chat going. And this guy Cam told John and Ragu the same story like a year ago. 2 different times, mind you. Not like told them together. He told them at 2 different times. And the same exact story. And he actually named the person who supposedly fucking blew me. So I'm like, okay, well, this is the easiest fucking disproven debunk ever. Call the fucking person. Like, what the hell? Who did he name? So
this is the easiest disproven. So we have now, I'm glad Mike has went out of the way to disprove this. First, he gave us absolutely no proof that there were or were not cameras in the locker room. He gave us no proof that he hates women, or does not hate women, and he gave us no proof that he's not a Smetophile. Now, this next accusation is a wrestler went in, witnessed Mike receiving fellatio, and because of that, wasn't pushed and wasn't given any offense. Well, this is the easiest disproven because, hey, I'm here. We got 4 guys on the call. Let's call this guy and ask him if he did this. Hey, did you secretly give Mike a BJ? Yeah, geez, I did. You guys figured it out. I mean, that's easily disproven? What kind of court of law is that? Oh, we'll just call him. Oh, okay. Hey, that is like, that's me. I catch a guy in bed with a 12-year-old girl, and then he's like, oh, you could just call. You could just call my friend. It's easily disproven. But that doesn't make no sense.
he named this kid Allie.
Yeah, let's blindside some guy with 4 other guys on the phone and ask him if you did something embarrassing, and they're gonna admit to him. That's great, great, dude. You should be a trial lawyer.
21, by the way. So first of all, nothing of anybody mentioned in any one of these stories is under 18. I just want to get that out there.
Well, that's not necessarily true because one, Grogan said that you were a Meta Smile, and then we have this 16-year-old boy here. So then that's a lie. That's a lie, Mike. You're lying. Not a good look.
Yeah, I don't care about what people 18 plus do to each other. I really don't care.
Well, no. Well, I mean, this is the whole reason why we're talking. I mean, there's nobody about the next WA.
No, that's not the whole reason we're talking. The whole reason we're talking is because you have 3 accusations. And one of them is calling you a Schmeta Smile. And then I have other people that aren't even alive, that aren't even online, telling me that you harmed them. That stuff happened to them, and you were the one that did it. And when they were underage. That's why I'm talking to you. My life is too busy to bother with what 2 grown adults do in the privacy of their own bedroom, or 3 or 19. I don't care what you're doing. As long as it's consensual, I don't give a damn. I wouldn't be here in front of you today if this was all above board, but it's not. That's why I'm here.
So, I mean, the things that came out are all positive, but I want you to know them because there's some people fucking telling you one side. I want you to know what really happened.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't need you fucking thinking shit of me. So, anyway, so I said, well, the kid Alex was fucking in Florida. So we called him anyway. He answered the phone.
Quick thing. He says the kid's a different name than the name that's originally reported. So I don't know what's going on. Is Mike trying to be deceptive with me on purpose? Because at this time he knows I don't understand the contextual nuance of the wrestling world? Probably, but I don't know. So if anybody can help me clarify that, please.
The call was, number one, it started off awkward because of the nature of it. Then it turned hilarious, and then it was mildly insulting. So what I mean by that...
Awkward, hilarious, mildly insulting. This is something clearly rehearsed. This is something he's said 1,000 times. This is not off the cuff speak. Clearly easy to pick apart. Because, that's... Listen.
Awkward when we had to inform him that it wasn't me talking. I let the other guys talk. I stayed silent because I'm like, yo, I don't want you to think I'm fucking intimidating. You guys talk to him. So I was on the line. I was listening. And the Gibson's like, hey, dude. He's like, so this kid Alex had to find out, he sucked the dick, they didn't know it. So his first reaction was pretty hilarious, like, what the fuck? No, that's your natural kind of reaction. So, he was pretty pissed off about...
Hey, Trips or Alex or whoever the heck is on this call, call me. Is Mike telling the truth or is he calling you guys liars? Let's clear the air here.
His name brought up, and obviously it did not happen. On my father's soul, it did not happen.
He just swears on his father's soul that this didn't happen. Mike, at least on this one, I hope you're telling the truth. I hope you're not lying on Val's name. Because that would be horrible to your brother, your sister, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your mom. Your mom is a wonderful, beautiful person. And if...
So, he's all pissed off, he's flipping out. Then it gets mildly insulting when he goes on to say, he's like, dude, I never sucked a dick in my life, and I did it with Mike. I'm like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? I'm not that bad.
Nervous laugh number 7. Let's take another drink. Just kidding, don't do it, because you'd be passed out. Let's all have a laugh. My friend of a long time ago, who I met when he was 13 years, is confronting me about allegations of child harm. This is a big joke.
But everybody was on the phone, everybody heard it, and then he posted about Cam. I stayed quiet about that one until I wanted to give him a chance to talk first because, that's mainly against him. Yeah, he mentioned me, so no, but he was the one giving them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mainly, again, to adults, but I don't want people thinking that I'm getting fucking blowjobs in my locker room. That's not cool to think, even though it's like, you know what I mean? That's not cool. I don't want people to think that's what that place is.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you've ever even been there. Have you ever been there?
I think once.
The event center in West Warren?
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I might. I don't know.
What? Yeah, I don't think so. I've only had it for a few years, but anyway, if you knew this place and knew where it was, and the kid changed his story, by the way, too. So when he told the story in person, when he told the story in the post, it was before the match happened, and that's why he was getting squashed. He said, "Oh, it's
One thing I forgot to point out quickly is, as you heard before in the audio, he said, "Oh, the kid had a natural reaction when you're confronted with, like, okay." Mike says he gives a natural reaction. How many people listening have been blindly put on a conference call and were told there's a story about them sucking a penis? So how is that a natural reaction? How's that a natural reaction? How could you have a natural reaction to this?
Then so they now find out I'm not going to get in the offensive match."
I mean, people that even like to do that, they're probably not getting like gay people aren't getting 4-way conference calls like, "Oh, did you say?" This is like beyond ridiculous, beyond the pale.
That's what it's supposed to. When he told the story in person, he's telling people it was after the show. I went to go say bye, blah blah. All right, well, which is it? Because that's two totally different things. And if you saw first of all, there's no privacy rule whatsoever in the event center. I'm next to where I am. I'm next to 3 people the entire day, the entire show. I'm next to the fucking sound man, next to the lighting guy, and I'm next to Jose. The entire show. There's literally no privacy.
Another nervous laugh. Take another drink, but this time healthy organic juice. And you notice how here he says that there's no privacy where he was alleged to be getting oral sex. There's no privacy there. But apparently there was enough privacy where these underage trainees could go and change in front of him and not the locker room.
After the show, forget it. That's where everybody's coming to shake hands, goodbye, and stuff like that.
So which is it, Mike?
Later, thank you very much. Yeah, that's literally, you've been at shows, you know how it's like. People walking around everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and there's no closed doors. It's all open. Literally, it's all open.
It's all open.
You can walk backstage.
It's all open. So let's have a bunch of young underage kids change there.
Behind the little curtain thing, look up and see all of, like, upstairs where we sit, without even coming up the stairs. That's how little privacy there is. So it's complete bullshit. That's why the guy John said, "I never told you a year ago because we knew it was bullshit then. But who knew he was going to fucking bring something like a year later publicly?" I'm like, well, he didn't name names. He didn't say XWA. He didn't say me. But he put enough innuendos in there, so when I brought it to the lawyer, I gave him that one. He's like, and I showed him text messages, and I showed him the phone.
He doesn't say my name, but he says innuendo. I'm bringing the text messages to the lawyer. Meanwhile, Grogan online says who you are and says that you're a smedophile and you do nothing. If it was all above board and you didn't do anything, and it's just 21 plus people having fun, but you're going to sue them, but not somebody that called you a smedophile? Who's your lawyer, Mike? Who's your lawyer?
Almost like these people texting me about this. These people go, so there's enough innuendos, insinuations, I guess, in that post, so people put 2 and 2 together, so that they think it's me. Even though he didn't say me, I can still prove he was talking about us because of the text that
No, you can't. No, you can't. You're an idiot to think that. You're a moron to think that. And even if you did think that, why aren't you going against some person that didn't say, like, you're going against the person that said there was 2 consenting adults that had something going on. Not the person that says that you harm children.
So I can still prove damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you following?
Yeah, I know. Just defamation cases are a real fucking bitch to prove, but.
Yeah. Well, this one's.
Well, because he doesn't know I know that. He doesn't know that he's talking to me like I'm a 14-year-old kid still. You're a public figure, buddy. Defamation doesn't count if people are telling the truth.
No, but I'll get to that at the end. That's fucking slam dunk because you literally.
A slam dunk. It's a slam dunk. No, it's not.
Person.
Nervous laugh. See, good thing. I hope anybody out there didn't take me seriously. because you guys will be smashed. Do not operate any heavier machinery or vehicles tonight. Do not play the Mike Antonucci drinking nervous laugh thing when he's confronted about charges of child harm.
But I guess he forgot he told 2 other fucking witnesses. You know what I mean? So.
Who are the witnesses?
And dude, like, and there's so many, and he was only there that one night. And the reason for the squash, by the way, I'll tell you, you understand booking. First of all, he came from a school in Mass that he got kicked out of. So he was only with us a couple of weeks. He was not on the roster. He did not work hard. He was only there for 3 fucking weeks. So, he was a body. So 2 weeks before this night, Santino Morello was there. Remember Santino?
Vaguely, I think so. I think so. Yeah. Yep.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's a funny dude. Yeah.
He's fucking hysterical. So he came to the show. He was at the show. So he was in a match against this guy, Heavy Matchmaker versus King Leon and this guy Rich Holiday. The match was hysterical. It was awesome. Man, it was on TV and whatnot. Good stuff. So up until that time, this guy King was like a joke character. He's super funny. So he's like a joke character. So right after that, we wanted to change him up a bit. Give him a little pizzazz to the character. So he did like this who's laughing now kind of thing. And, we want to put a mean streak in him so to take him more seriously. We don't want him to be a pushover. So you understand that kind of booking, correct?
I think so, yeah.
So the very next week, what happened was this kid Alex was doing concession stand. And the kid Cam was there. So I'm like, oh, good, I need bodies. I said, Cam, stand by the door. You pretend you're fucking security or doing.
Does anybody know who the people in this story arc are? Please message me, leave it in the comments. I want to talk to these people.
Or whatever. He's like, okay, cool. He was just happy to be involved, so was Alex. And the thing was, the guy King cut a promo saying how dare people laugh at me and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Because they had a fucking King Cobra segment. I don't know if you don't remember Santino, that's not going to be funny to you. So after the promo, he looks over to the door, sees the kid Cam smirking at him. He's like, what are you laughing at? Don't you laugh at me? So he goes over there, roughs him up a bit. Then he goes over to the concession stand, gets Alex, roughs him up a bit. So that led up to the night in question. We did a handicap match 2-on-1. And it was going to be a squash. They're 2 non-wrestlers. You know what I mean? They're not even portrayed as wrestlers yet. Alex was doing concession stand. He's not even on the roster. He's on the roster now. But at the time he wasn't. He was doing concession. So it was like 90% offense King. I said, you can let them get just a little bit, but cut them off quick. This is supposed to be a quick 3.
One of the other things I want to bring up is that 2025 of this recording, Mike says he has names of witnesses that were going to defend him in this case. Who are those witnesses, Mike?
4-minute little squash thing. And we were going to do that consecutively with different people for a few weeks just to get them over as with a mean streak. So that's the reason for the squash. Anybody that doesn't understand booking ain't gonna understand that. But anybody that knows wrestling, we're like, okay, that makes perfect sense, But that was the main thing about his post anyway. Was okay, poor me, I didn't get any offense in. Who gives a shit that even if that was true with the blowjob thing, which it completely wasn't, by the way. But even if it was true, with 2 fucking adults doing their own business, their own time, has nothing to do with him.
Well, then that's all legal, right? Then why would you want to sue somebody? Why wouldn't you want to sue the person that called you a Smeedo instead?
Yeah. But still, it did happen. The kid is more pissed than I am, who he accused of doing it. So I brought him to the lawyers too. I'm like, all right, so he's involved in it.
So he brought somebody else to the lawyers. Who is this person? If I can confirm that you brought him to the lawyer, I will stop all my videos right now and delete all my videos. On Val's soul. Honestly. And I can honor my word, unlike you, Mike.
But I'm going to get more about that in a minute. So that, again, they're 0 for fucking 2. Because it was really quick. That was a quick one.
0 for 2. First one, people said that I was harming as an active smedophile, had cameras in the locker room, and that Mike hated women. We've seen 0 proof for that. The second one, what was the second one? The second one was easily disproven because we have 4 guys calling somebody about an embarrassing situation. If he doesn't agree to it, that's proof. This is proof. This is proof in a delusional mind.
That was even quicker than the first one.
That was even quicker than the first one. Just completely done.
And then the fucking Brett. Brett's the one that hurts the most because I didn't expect that from him, but he's very...
All this time, he didn't answer my original question.
You're not going to know names. Do you already know about the Brett one?
Somebody said something about somebody named Brett, but I don't know all these names or who these people are, so if there's no context.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So, and if you're not familiar with the Brett story, it's I mean, you should be. So go back and check out the last few videos.
Get your timing down. I said, this is what this is about.
So Mike is telling Brett, hey, look, you got too much of an ego. You really need to get your... Hold on, let's go back.
He felt he was way better than. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have to work him. I'm like, dude, you're getting ring time. It's not about who's better than who. It's about getting repetition, getting better, getting your timing down. I said, this is what this is about. It's like, stop, deflating that ego. So we used to do that.
He's telling Brett to deflate that ego. 20 people went outside of your wrestling show in the pouring rain to protest you. You knew it was happening, and you thought you would rather play with the music. After wrestlers walked out on you, fans didn't show up. People outside were saying you harmed kids standing there in the rain. You're telling this person to deflate their ego, then you come out, who's playing as Stone Cold Steve Austin, dressed as Stone Cold Steve Austin to Stone Cold Steve Austin's music, and then you come out and Stone Cold stun somebody. Who's got the ego here? You're going to try to shit on Brett? When you're a 50-year-old fat-ass bald man LARPing around like Stone Cold? Who's got the ego here?
Constantly battle about who he was working because he always thought he should be in main events. I'm like, dude, you're far away. I said, look at the main event tonight.
And Mike, deflate that ego. Nobody was talking. Oh, remember? Jenna Bauer said, oh yeah, they were talking about the fatal three-way between Stone Cold, Hogan, and The Rock, and then people kept calling in and said, no, we gotta talk about Phoenix and the Candyman. I don't care about those guys. We're gonna shut down AM radio. It's about Phoenix and the Candyman. Shut that ego down. You're disgusting.
You think you can hang with either of those two guys? I was like, then stop talking. Anyway, I just give you...
I think we should do that. We should just call into local radio, and when they're talking about when the Celtics win the championship, or when Tom Brady comes out of retirement, why are you guys talking about Tom Brady? Did you see Candyman in the Phoenix?
Little backstory there. Our main falling out happened with work because when 1099s went out, he sold the final number. It was like 28,000 or 29,000 or whatever, and he only worked like 6 months. So he's like, oh, I didn't make that much money. I was like, you're screwing me. First of all, I'm like, a company does that. We don't just pull out a number out of thin air and say, here's what we think you made. I was like, that's not how this works. Like,
nervous laugh. Take a drink.
Go get all your pay stubs, dude. I mean, like, if you need help, ask me and I'll help you. So he's like, by the end of the conversation, we were fine. His mother calls me. His mother starts screaming at me. My son says you're screwing up, blah, blah, blah. How could you put that number? He only worked there 6 months. I'm like, he made $1,000 a week. You know how quick that adds up? So she starts screaming at me. I'm like, look, you need to calm down. You need to lower the tone, because if you're not going to talk to me like an adult, I'm not going to talk to you.
Mike, you don't have any experience talking to adults. She should probably talk to you in a Google Gaga. Maybe you would understand if they talk to you in pre-teen skater boy language. Hey, rad dude, want to dress up as Stone Cold and roll around on the mat?
So, and then she continued to scream, so I raised my voice and I got rude right back. I guess he was listening to the whole conversation on the other line or whatever. So that didn't go over well. You can't talk to my mom like that. And we didn't talk for months. So this past January, this was last year, by the way. January, he hits me up.
Just to let you know, I recorded this in 2020. I believe, was the year I recorded this in. Yeah.
But no worries, like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, so I wrote back, do what? He's like, I want to be able to come to the center. I want to be able to come to training. I don't want to feel like I'm an outcast. I'm like, dude, I never asked for any of this. I'm like, I don't want you to feel like that either. I said, nobody said you couldn't come. He's like, can we not have heat anymore? Heat means like a beef between the two of us.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I would love nothing more for that. So, and we were fine. from January up until last Friday, or 2 Fridays ago, the Friday before Father's Day. So that was 2 weeks ago. So up until that Friday. And that Friday, we had a long text. That's when the governor came out and said that we were going to go to phase 3 tomorrow.
So this is June.
So I hit him up. I was like, hey, you got a 2-week notice. I said, we could probably start doing Thursdays again. I'd like to have you come down. So he was pretty happy to hear that. He's like, what are you thinking idea-wise, to come back? I'm like, honestly, I said, literally, I just found out we could probably do the shows again. I haven't thought of anything like that. I'm just trying to, reach out, get guys together. And I said, I'd like to have you back. So he's like, okay, cool. And I told him, I said, pitch me some ideas. Think of some shit. Pitch me some ideas. I said, we'll go from there. I said, if you come up with something good and I don't have anything, we'll run with it. So he's like, all right, cool, I'll let you know. That's how I left it off. Oh, and then we talked about his work, what he was doing, because he was back in Gable. He lives in Connecticut now. So we talked a while about his work. But whole conversation, pleasant, we were laughing, everything was pleasant. Thank God I don't fucking delete anything I have. So 2 days, so I hit him up Sunday, Father's Day, because I know, just like me, it's a rough day for him as well. So I hit him up, hey dude, you doing okay today? I don't get a response. So later that night, I hit him up, hey man, just checking back, making sure you're good. I don't get a response. So I'm like, that's weird, because even when we argue, he always writes right back. You know what I mean? So you there?
Yeah.
Alright, I just want to make sure I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah.
So I found that odd that he never not responds. So I'm like, alright, I'll text him tomorrow. Maybe he got home late or whatever the case may be. So I text him the next day. No response. I'm like, okay, now I know. Like, what do you see fucking Cam's post and think that shit's true? And, what the fuck? I don't even think of that shit. So I text him one more time. I'm like, I would like to direct you towards this person and this person and this person. Go talk to them because that was disproven. Hopefully you're not believing that stupid crap. So he didn't say anything back. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then Tuesday, so that was what? So that was Monday. Nothing back. Tuesday afternoon after Father's Day, he posts his little thing. Once again, very quickly disproven, but with his is fucking bad because I can actually press criminal charges against him for coercion and conspiracy because I can
coercion and conspiracy. You can push criminal charges over coercion. What is he coercing you to do? Nothing. Conspiracy? Bro, he's out of his mind. And you want to press criminal charges against him, but not the girl that calls you a smedophile.
1 second.
As I said before, this is all intimidation and bully tactics to get people not to speak up. And it's not going to work. It hasn't worked. So if you're a victim, or if you know what's going on, come forward and show him that his bully tactics aren't going to work on us this time.
With him, it really sucks because we were just talking perfectly fine, you know what I mean? And there's a puppet master behind the scenes where there's two people that hate my guts so fucking much that they fucking talk to people and feed them shit. It's like, oh, now you're gonna do this, or oh, look what these other people are saying, don't buy into his bullshit or what.
Well, if that's the case, if your friends are stupid enough to buy into lies, then they shouldn't be your friends in the first place. Or maybe they actually just got wise to what you're actually doing.
You know what I mean? Just fucking feed poison. So I know for a fact somebody got...
Puppet masters. Conspiracy. Yeah, Mike. Bill Gates, George Soros, the Rockefellers, and Donald Trump are part of a big conspiracy out to get XWA, Mike Antonucci. There's a big conspiracy going on. The puppet masters.
To that kid's head. Because there's no way we went from talking completely fine on Friday to that on Tuesday. You following?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what he posts. He's like, okay, I'm going to speak out. And because that was the name of that whole movement thing, speak out. He's like, I'm going to speak out. I know mine isn't nearly as severe as everybody else's, but I don't think he should get away with this. You know, he's like, I worked for a promotion that we had a promo, and it was at a massage parlor, and I had to, and the promoter / owner made me lay there in my underwear. This is what he says. And I told him I was not comfortable doing that, and he said, I'll never book you again if you don't. I'm just telling you what the post says, and then I'll get into breaking it down. He said, so I ended up doing it anyway just because I just wanted to rest. So he says, as we were filming it, the owner came in of the massage parlor, looked around and says, hey, what's going on in here? Please don't use the name of my business for whatever this is. He said, so even the owner was clearly creeped out by this. He says, so that's my story, just wanted to share. So, okay. Oh, and he said, and it can be corroborated by the guy that was in the room with me, but I will not name at this time. There was only three. There was three of us in that room. Thank fucking God. First of all, if you're gonna lie about a promo, make sure the company doesn't have the uncut, unedited version of that fucking promo, where you're clearly not ever in your fucking underwear. And when you hear the word,
Okay, Mike, we can put this all to bed right now. You just told me you have the unedited video and that Brett is a liar. Well, guess what? You can just go to XWA, post right tomorrow, right now. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. You can do it now. And just prove us all wrong. You got the proof, Mike. Show us.
underwear, what do you think of?
Now, when I think of underwear, I'm not going to spoil it.
What's the first thing that pops in your mind? See if you're on the same page as me.
He wants me to agree with him. So I was like, all right, I'm going to play along.
Underwear? I don't know, boxers, tighty whities, shit like that.
Okay.
I was going to say tighty whities. Because people don't say underwear, they call them boxers, right? But whatever. Either way, look how he's trying to spin this narrative.
Tighty whities. See, that's what I think. When I hear underwear, I think tighty whities. Which that makes it creepy when you get that visual. Tighty whities. When somebody says boxers, they say boxers. I don't think people say underwear when they wear boxers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At least that's what I'm saying. People who say underwear, to me that was fucking.
Why are you going on about this point?
Just his wording of it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was just more creepy. First of all, it didn't happen. Annie had a freaking big ass fucking massage, the big ass towels that they have. Annie had freaking the towel on. So
okay, good, prove it. You said you got this unedited video, release it. End all the speculation right now.
The way he turned that, and it was a fucking thing right out of Family Guy. That day, him and the other guy that was in the room fucking wrote themselves and came to me and pitched it, and I agreed to it. That's pretty funny. I love Family Guy too. And there was four of us there. Only three of us in the room because it was a really small room, and the fourth guy's kind of large. So he waited outside the door, and the door wasn't shut. It was just kind of closed a little bit, but not shut. You could push it, it wasn't shut. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and he was standing right there. So did the owner come in? He absolutely did come in. Did he say what fucking Brett said?
So we're going to pause it here. I'm going to go through your comments quickly, and we're going to pick up part 2 tomorrow because we still have another half hour to listen to. Mike, forget all my questions. I'm going to ask you the questions one more time, but just to forget them. Why did 3 people tell me what happened to them when they were underage? Why are there 4 new accusations within a few days of releasing my video, including one of which is underage, Mike? Why were you the president of the Little League for 1 year? Why did you leave the Boys and Girls Club? Why did you leave Future Technologies? Why did you leave Premiere? Why did you make Jenna Bauer Sadie? Are you Cam Ma Jim? If not, who's Cam Ma Jim? Why did you ask me and other kids from the Boys and Girls Club to go on cam with you? Why did you ask me for rubies? But guess what? You can forget all those questions. Because Mike says here, 6 years ago, he says, I have proof. Quote, I have proof. I have statements. I have texts. I have police reports. I went to a lawyer. Just show me you're telling me the truth. Show me the proof. This goes away. But guess what? You can't do me any of that because you don't have police reports. You didn't go to a lawyer. You don't have proof. And you don't have statements because you're a liar. Funny thing is, Mike put his little thing where he called all the victims and me liars yesterday on XWA. He's got 5 reactions, 3 of those are laughs. Nobody's buying your shit anymore, Mike. You're done. You're cooked. If you got the proof, Why would you wait 7, 8, 9? Which really, I'm being hyperbolic. 5. Why would you wait 5 days? Now it's 6 days. Why would you wait so long if you have all this proof? Like if everybody in the world was calling me somebody that harmed kids, and why would I sit on and if I had proof that I wasn't, why would I sit on that? Why would I let the whole world for a week think that I harmed kids? You even said you brought the other person involved to the lawyer. Who was that person? Let me talk to him so I can validate your story. This is disgusting, folks. I need you folks to share the video. I need you to tag Mike Antonucci. I need you guys to come forward with the information here. I need you guys to find the videos I've done on YouTube. Fake Mike Real News. Check me out and share those videos. Get these videos out here. Because the last thing we need is Timu Stone Cold Steve Austin running around LARPing and harming kids. John Lowe, we got a comment here, says, he was a effed up kid growing up. Are you talking to Mike? And if so, how do you have that information? And even if that is true, there were a lot of people that had terrible things happen to them, but you cannot use that excuse to go do other horrible things to other people. So there's that. Yeah, he was in boxers, not tighty nighties, but it also didn't happen, says the CBC. Exactly. All right, guys, I'm going to be back here tomorrow. I want to say 8 p.m. Stay tuned to my channel. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to go live, but we'll do part 2 of this tomorrow. We'll go through the rest of this audio recording. Again, the best way to help these victims out is to share these videos. The more people come forward, the less problem we're going to have ending this. Anybody that has stories, come forward publicly. If not, reach out to me anonymously. FakeMikeRealNews@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out on Facebook, Instagram, Fake Mike Real News. Everybody that knows the situation, and then especially the people that know me going back forward, and I've proven the last week that I do not divulge any of my sources, those folks have remained confidential. I've had a few different people tell me some really juicy stuff over the last couple of days. And they said, hey, I'm a little bit scared. At this time, I don't want to come forward. I might come forward soon, but at this time, I don't want to. But I need you guys to come forward, and I want to say thank you to everybody that came out with me in protest. And thank you to the brave souls that have come forward this week to expose Mike Antonucci. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.